K-Smell Records is serving up a steaming hot filet of soul. 24 bad hits on one skin-tight LP, 8-track, and cassette. Groove so hot, they'll melt your needle and weld the tape to the head. Get down to Shaft.
Who is the man that will risk his neck for his brother man? Can you dig it?
This album has all the dance floor killers, like Saggin' Tats by the Sandusky Players. And don't be forgetting Rathicon's sultry vocals on You Got the Drugs by Roofies.
You got the love to give me strength to keep on living, yeah.
That Filet of Soul is one bad compilation.
Shut your mouth.
But I'm just talking about this great record offer.
We can dig it.
Here's how to order this smoking hot record offer.
Order this smoking hot 300 degrees Celsius record package by sending $6.99 for record, $8.99 for 8-track, and $9.99 for cassette in cash, check, money order, credit cards, debit cards, and food stamps to Filet of Soul, care of KLAK TV, P.O. Box 1564, Worms, Nebraska 90125. That's Filet of Soul, care of KLAK TV, P.O. Box 1564, Worms, Nebraska 90125. Please allow 6 to 8 weeks for police inspection before delivery.
Listen, you better flow with me now. Float on, float on.
And welcome to a seemingly cursed edition of the Oddity Archive. I mean, I was genuinely concerned that it was going to take me until the
21st night of September.
for me to finally get this episode out the door. But anyway, I suppose I should build up to this one. So whenever I do a record ripoffs episode, the subject matter of each one is mostly dictated by what do I have the most of at a given moment, be it a certain genre or a certain time frame. Well, this time around, it just worked out that I had a whole backlog of soul candidates. And it was just God's little joke that 80% of them were on the 8-track format. A format I'm not too fond of. And one that every time I get a new tape, I always wind up having to do some level of surgery on the damn thing. But anyway, on the first day of production, it was just going to be me screening the candidates, figure out what I want to cover. And so I went to plug in my main 8-track deck, and it decided that it was going to transform into a doorstop right then and there. So that meant having to go out to the backyard and dig up my poor, decrepit old Montgomery Ward airline, from its should be peaceful, proper little burial there, its little grave that I made for it. But yeah, had to dig it up, put it back into service again, brushed all the dirt off of it, got the worms and stuff out of it, and popped in the first tape, and the belt gave. So I had to order another one, and about a week later, little over a week later, I received something in the mail that was a belt, but definitely not the right size. I was sent the wrong thing. So had to send that back, wait for a new one, got the proper belt, which was adequate at best, tuned up the machine as best as I could, and just tried to finally get to work some 15 or 16 days after that initial day. And yes, on that first day, I went through all the vinyl and cassette stuff too. But anyway, finally, let's get down to business here. So to kick things off, I've got a twofer for you here. So these are from the same series as implied, and this series was so cheap that they would just use the same generic artwork over and over again, which makes it kind of hard to keep track of which volumes of this series that one would have if you're dumb enough to collect these things like I am. But anyway, what we have here is the apparent first volume of Top Soul, and I think this thing dates to early 1974. And this comes to us by way of the Fantastic Fs, as in the Fantastic Fails. Yeah, we've dealt with them before. But funnily enough, this is easily the best I've ever heard out of the old Fantastic Fails. Granted, that's a pretty low bar. But anyway, I'm going to have to get back into tech mode briefly here. This particular tape, the audio was recorded at too hot a level. So we've gotten past the point of tape saturation and into full-on distortion territory, and you're going to hear some distortion on this one. But this was actually bad enough that this is one of those rare occasions where I actually went onto the computer and, tried to clean it up a bit. If only because the audio was going to be pretty well indiscernible about half the time. Actually, it might still be indiscernible in a spot or two here.
Hurry, hurry, step right up and see the sideshow in town for only 50 cents.
See the man with the broken heart. You'll see that he is sad. There's got to be no sadder show to see. So let the sideshow begin. Hurry, hurry, step right on in. Sideshow begin.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta have something if you wanna be with me. I'm not trying to beat your minus, 'cause that minus is too low to see. Payback! Here it is! Payback! I'm back! Show me out! Kick it, chain! Get ready, you mug! For the big payback! Hit 'em, Brad!
I've heard people say that too much of anything is no good for you, baby. Doesn't seem like to me it's the matter. It's just not enough.
Darling, I can't get enough of your love, baby. Oh, no, baby. My price ain't too high. I can't get enough of your love, baby.
Oh baby, you should let the ball. Oh baby, you should let the ball. Hey, the knows better. My heart's a lady. Oh baby.
My other Top Soul tape is volume 2 in the series, and they were actually nice enough to tell you that this time. And they were also nice enough to give you a little more of a date. This is supposed to be for winter of 1974, which in their mind seemed to equal the very tail end of 74 going into 1975. So technically this should probably read winter of 75, but whatever. Anyway, musically, it's the same stuff as the first one. But as far as the manufacturing goes, I'm going to say this is even a slight step farther down from Volume 1. So the only thing that's improved here is the audio levels are still too hot, but they're not as bad, so you won't hear as much distortion this time. But yeah, there's a nasty editing glitch between every single song on this thing. And there was supposed to be a Gladys Knight and the Pips cover on here. And I'm going to guess it just simply didn't show up in time to go to manufacturing. And instead of, just removing it from the track list, they just took a needle drop of the actual hit and cut it into the tape, bootlegging the actual hit. And otherwise, they take the exact same Barry White track from Volume 1 that you already heard a bit of and just straight up reuse it here. No, I won't play that one a second time.
Funk that down. Nasty. People, gotta get over before we go under. Girl, no. Got a brand new funky president. Stock market going up. Ain't no funky jobs to be found. Tax going up.
We are amazed but not amused by all the things you say you do. But we are sick and tired of hearing your song. But if you really wanna hear our view, you haven't done that yet. Get your brother sing along with me. Say doo-doo-wop, doo-doo-wop, oh, doo-doo-wop, oh, oh.
Hold me tight, smiling, comes as no surprise. You got the love to give me strength to keep on living, yeah.
Step on strip on time. Guess what in your body, give time. Why?
When will I see you again? Will I have to suffer and cry the whole night through? When will I see you again? When will I see you again? When will I see you again?
If you watch Archive regularly, there's a decent chance you've seen me, at the very least, refer to a company known as Magnetic Video. And hey, maybe I even discussed them a bit. But prior to them being the first significant home video distribution company, they were mostly known for distributing videotapes in the professional market. If I'm not mistaken, their main business was to run off usually 3/4-inch U-matic copies of whatever TV show or movie to be sent to generally a network, maybe an individual TV station for broadcast. But for about 5 years or so, they had this little side hustle going, and that was their music division. And they got out a pretty decent run of albums, albeit being the Magnetic Corporation, almost entirely on tape, specifically on the 8-track format. They did get some vinyl out the door here and there. But anyway, their releases, they did have some legit releases, but they were terrible at telling you whether it was the real thing or not on the tape itself. So like these days, if you find one in a thrift store or something and you still happen to, for some crazy reason, have a working 8-track deck at home, you're probably not going to know if it's a knockoff or the actual hits until you take it home and pop it in and listen a bit. but I'd say you have a 3 in 4 chance of it being knockoffs. So anyway, that brings us to our next album, and it's What's on the Box today, and that would be Solid Gold Soul Volume 1 featuring Higher Ground, as in the Stevie Wonder tune. And this thing dates to, I believe, late 1973, though some of the songs date as far back as 70, and presumably the recordings too. And it seems like Magnetic Video imported some of this stuff. I should note that some of the covers on here are actually pretty dang solid, but at the same time, they're just a little off in that, judging from the vocals, they seem to have come from some Germanic country. They really sound like they were imported. Now, aside from those cuts, I think we can safely say Benny Boy's record ripoffs theorem very much applies here, as in the more distinct the original artist, the worse the cover.
Who is the man that will risk his life for his brother man? Can you dig it? They say that that shaft is bad. Shut your mouth. Come on, Shine. You can take we gotta live together. No matter what color, you are still my brother. Everybody wanna live together. Why can't we live together? Keep on learning. World, keep on turning. That's what I need to know. I'm told that man and never try it again. But my last time on earth, I lived the whole world to see. Gonna keep on trying till I reach the highest ground.
As another day comes to an end, I'm looking for a letter or something, anything that she would say. You know, it's funny. I thought I had her in the palm of my hand.
I've only ever covered a precious few albums from the Springboard label on these record ripoffs episodes, and that's because they just generally aren't that bad. Actually, they're usually pretty decent. But this time around, obviously, one made the cut. But having said that, it's easily still the least worst of the lot today. I'd say there's only 2 cuts on here that I'd say are egregiously bad. But anyway, I think part of the reason why they tended to turn out better is that Springboard was based in LA, and for one, they seem to have a bigger budget than most, and I'm pretty sure they were able to get some of the real great session musicians from that scene of that period to play on a lot of this stuff. So yeah, at least instrumentally, it would be a cut or 10 above the rest. But yeah, there's failures, and more often than not, it's on the vocal front. But anyway, yeah, that brings us to today's final 8-track, Super Soul, from late 1977. So, actually, the big issue with this is in the manufacturing. For one, when I finally was able to first play this, I'll get back to that in a second. I popped it in and I thought I had my little transfer rig set up wrong because it sounded like the audio was out of phase. And nope, everything was fine. So I just did a transfer, dumped it on the computer, checked there, and nope, it just turns out that the audio was weak and diffuse to begin with. But the real issue is that I should note this was a still sealed new old stock tape here. And whether it's still sealed or not, if it's got a foam pressure pad inside, after 50 odd years, it's just going to turn to dust. Well, sure enough, I took off the shrink wrap, pulled the cardboard off of this thing, and a whole bunch of dust came spilling out onto my table, black dust. So, yeah, okay, I'm going to have to open this thing, and sure enough, it's one of those damn Warner Brothers style death cartridges. So, I was able to open it without destroying the cartridge, but I found that the tape had somehow gotten curled 180 degrees in the factory. So I, of course, tried to do just the old parlor trick of swinging the tape back, but all that did was send the curl farther back. So usually 99.9% of the time when you would buy a new 8-track tape, it would look something like this. So you can probably see that nice shiny silver thing in the middle there. That is a foil joining splice, because these are just big tape loops. That's what's holding this whole thing together. And invariably those fail too, so you got to replace those. But yeah, for the only time in history, not only was it not there, when I had it open, it wasn't visible anywhere. So after trying the little parlor trick, I started to unravel the tape a bit, hoping I would hit that splice. And I reached a point where I felt like I was going to cause more problems. So I wound it back up and had to settle for grabbing the scissors, cutting the tape, straightening it back out, putting it back together with just a good old editor's splice. And it shows that I haven't done an editor's splice in several years now, and I was never that great at it to begin with. So yeah, you're going to hear that at one point during the montage here. It just so happened that it occurs about 5 seconds into the beginning of each song on each program. So all I can say is, sorry.
Aquarius, and my name is Ronnie. Now I like a woman who loves her freedom, and if you fit that description, baby, come with me. Cancer, and my name is Larry. And I like a woman that loves everything and everybody. Take my hand.
When we met, it wasn't quite clear to me what you had in store was there for only me. Oh, here in ecstasy, girl, when you lay down next to me.
I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Give them a sense of pride. Because our greatest love of all is happening to me.
Today's final album is thankfully on cassette, but it comes to us by way of our most regular offenders, Pickwick. And this was also a viewer donation several years ago now, but they only credited themselves as Bishop when they sent this to me, so thank you, much belatedly, Bishop. But anyway, this would have been just perfect for the A Tribute to Record Ripoffs episode, I think 5 years ago now, but it arrived just after that one came out. So yeah, it would have been perfect, but yeah, just wasn't happening. So back into the pool it went for eventual possible use, and yeah, I guess it took 5 years for it to come around again. But anyway, this comes to us by way of everybody's favorite imaginary band, Mirror Image. And the album is called Sounds Like Earth, Wind, and Fire. This is from 1980. And boy, that's a tall order to sound like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, we're only talking about one of the tightest and most accomplished bands of all time of any genre. So anyway, if I ever had any even teeny nitpick about Earth, Wind & Fire's, the real band's, performance end of things, it's that their vocals were merely good as opposed to great. And this tape, strangely enough, has the same problem, but in its own special way. So instrumentally, this is actually a good cut above most of these knockoff albums. Not as good as the actual band, but better than what most musicians are going to be able to put out. But yeah, it's on the vocal end of things where you would think that it would be the most attainable in this equation, where things truly fail. So, to put this in perspective, I think we've all heard what I refer to as graveyard harmonies at some point. And that's where you have some, group of people singing harmony, but not only is everyone flat, but their own little degree of flat, and it kind of makes its own weird, kind of separate alternate universe harmony. And this can be done on purpose and to good effect. The Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack does it a couple of times. Tom Waits was good at that during the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. But the thing is, this is Earth, Wind, and Fire we're talking about here. Yeah, it's not appropriate, and I don't think it was intentional, and boy, it just makes it stick out that much worse.
Do you remember 21st night of September while I'm kissing the clouds away? Say, do you remember dancing in September?
Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Oh, but yesterday was all we had.
After love is gone, just let me right as wrong. Love was lost and found.
When I started working on this episode, I had really wanted there to be one 60s album in the lot, because, that would have been perfect for this episode, real prime era Motown and Atlantic and Stax, but it just wasn't meant to be. The oldest thing I had was from 1970, and it obviously did not make the final cut. But in my stack of sheer hit records, 45s, I did have one real prime era Motown jewel. So yeah, we're going to close things out with a bit from a very worn out Styrene 45 here. So what I got is Jenny and the Jewels rendition of Love Child, of course, originally by the Supremes. And as one would expect, Jenny sounds absolutely nothing like Diana Ross. But having said that, it's really not a terrible cover. Of course, it's nowhere near as good as the hit, but it's not a total train wreck. So, the reason that this made the cut was between the fact that it's worn out and it's a Styrene 45, and the audio levels were, I think, cut a little bit too hot initially. There are parts of this song where it almost becomes a bit of a cacophony. And so we're going to end things with something that just got included more on a technicality than anything else. But anyway, otherwise that is going to be it for today's archive. Join me next time when I get the funk surgically removed from my cardboard obscured face.
Hey, what's love?